Everybody hates Elon Musk. Okay, not everybody. There are some MAGA loyalists and some Elon Musk loyalists, but lots and lots of people hate Elon Musk at this particular juncture, and his Tesla sales, the stock market, and how much he is worth has shown it. And he has earned it since the very moment that he stepped up on the stage at the inauguration and did this schnazi salute. He has earned everything, all the castigation that has come against him. I am going to talk about the feud between Leon Scum and Scott Besson, but I am going to come back to that in a moment once we get to the bottom line of how we came to the point where he is so unpopular currently. He literally came onto the scene, literally and figuratively, with a chainsaw, firing people, cutting funds, going through people's private data, and supposedly allowing Russians to go through our private data as well. Basically, go in there and siphon off all of the information that he wanted. And he did this as an unofficial employee working at the behest of Donald Trump, who he bought with his $290 million. He basically bought the right to destroy the American government. This is an Axios article. Leon Scum leaves a legacy of self-destruction at Doge. Elon Musk arrived in Washington as the most powerful political outsider ever, brimming with Silicon Valley swagger and bipartisan buy-in for his goal of streamlining the federal government. He's leaving with his reputation wounded, relationships severed, companies in crisis, fortune diminished, and little to show for Doge but chaos and contested savings. Why it matters. Musk may not have achieved his audacious goal of cutting $2 trillion from America's debt, but the disruption he unleashed inside the federal government, for better or worse, will reverberate for decades. They have jacked up America for a couple of generations. Thanks Elon, thanks MAGA, thanks Trump. Musk has publicly acknowledged the enormous toll that Doge, which he's characterized as a patriotic existential project, has taken on his private life. He's hurt that so many people hate him, even though he's out here destroying lives. He's still beloved by President Trump, but his favorability ratings have plummeted amid scrutiny of Doge's mass layoffs, sweeping program cuts, unprecedented access to Americans' personal data. Oh, yeah, and on top of buying the president, he did try to buy the Wisconsin Supreme Court judge. That literally just happened. All right, it says for a Wisconsin Supreme Court election this month, Democrats painted Musk, who poured $25 million into the race, as a corrupt, unelected oligarch with his eyes set on dismantling Social Security. The message stuck, and Musk's GOP-backed candidate lost. Now let's talk about Tesla a little bit more, but I will go to a different article for that, mostly because y'all needed to see this picture. It says, fascist dork. Tesla earnings plunge because everyone hates Elon Musk. And hopefully we can get their earnings even lower. We need to get him so unpopular that Tesla goes down the drain as well. And maybe he will take a step back and go back and reevaluate his life and get out of America's business, because he don't even belong here. I can't stand this man. Elon Musk's far-right turn as the head of Doge has apparently tanked Tesla's earnings. In a humiliating first quarter report published Tuesday, Tesla reported that profits had crashed by a whopping 71%, falling to a mere $409 million compared with $1.39 billion from the same quarter last year. The company vastly underperformed compared to Wall Street's expectations for per-share profit, reporting an adjusted earnings per share of 27 cents, well below the expectation of 41 cents. Sales slipped dramatically as well, dropping 13% from the same period last year. The electric vehicles have become the controversial symbols of Donald Trump's administration and Elon Musk's cost-cutting antics at Doge, making them targets of widespread vandalism. Musk was reportedly considering stepping back as Doge czar when his special government employee status ends next month, which should come as no surprise. The Washington Post reported that the billionaire bureaucrat was tired of attacks from the left, even though he's out here destroying people's lives. He's earned this. He's earned all of the castigation. Dan Eves, a Wedbush security financial analyst, wrote to clients on Sunday that Musk pulling back from Doge is the only way that Tesla can recover, according to Bloomberg. Musk needs to leave the government, take a major step back on Doge, and get back to being CEO of Tesla full time. Tesla is Musk. Musk is Tesla. And anyone that thinks the brand damage Musk has inflicted is not a real thing, spend some time speaking to car buyers in the US, Europe, and Asia. You will think differently after those discussions. This latest earnings report may have been the wake up call Musk needed. On a call with investors Tuesday, Musk reportedly said that he was planning to cut down his time spent working with Doge to 2 days a week starting in May. So maybe he's going to step back and stop being so destructive. I really do hope so, but let's now come into what's going on with him and Scott Bessent. All right, so this is another Axios article. Musk versus Besson dispute erupted into West Wing shouting match. Elongated Muskrat and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent got into a heated shouting match in earshot of Trump and other officials in the White House last week during a dispute about the IRS. Two witnesses and three sources briefed on the matter tell Axios. It was two billionaire, middle aged men thinking it was WWE in the hall of the West Wing, one witness said of the argument last Thursday. Besson's net worth is actually 520 million, but who cares when you are a poor? Why it matters. The clash, with both men in each other's face, showed how much Musk personality and style have rankled some senior administration officials since he began running roughshod through agencies with Doge. The New York Times first reported Friday that Besson and Musk had a disagreement over who would lead the IRS, but the chest to chest clash between the two men a day earlier has not been reported previously. They were not physical in the Oval, but the president saw it and then they carried it down the hall, and that's when they did it again, the first witness said. It was quite a scene. It was loud, and I mean loud, said a second witness. Zoom in. Asked about the shouting match, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt referred to comments she made to the Times about how it's no secret that Trump has put together a team of people who are incredibly passionate about the issues impacting the country. Disagreements are a normal part of any healthy policy process, her statement said, and ultimately everyone knows that they serve at the pleasure of President Trump, even though Elon Musk bought President Trump. He bought himself a presidency. Musk has had other high profile disputes with Secretary of State Little Marco Rubio, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, whose claim to fame is MTV's Road Rules Challenge, and Trade Advisor Peter Navarro as well. Everyone thinks Doge is great, but Elon Musk's antics are just a bit much, another administration official said. Are you sure everyone thinks it's great despite how unpopular it is? Okay, cool. The backstory. Musk and Besson had a choppy start during the presidential transition. Musk lobbied hard for Howard Lutnick to get the Treasury post, but Trump went with Besson instead and picked Lutnick to lead the Commerce Department. Once Trump became president, Musk and Besson clashed over Treasury hires. It wasn't a fight about right or wrong, it was about control, another administration official familiar with the disagreement said. The big picture. The roots of the tension between Musk and Besson is partly rooted in their personalities. Musk is a move fast and break stuff iconoclastic business leader and social media personality. Besson is a cerebral, reserved financial guru who's much more comfortable explaining markets than being in the news or in the dispute with Musk, whom Besson has praised along with Doge. What surprises a lot of people is Scott is so mild mannered, but he has his limits and he can roar, a Besson ally who was briefed on the argument said. Scott can't stand Musk. That goes pretty deep and pretty far back, but he's acting like a grown up about it. So we'll see how this goes. How long will he last? How long will he last? We know Trump loves to throw people under the bus, but we also know that Elon purchased Trump. He purchased Trump for $290 million. So Leon might actually outlast Scott Besson. You never know. So join the conversation. Drop your predictions. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.